Hi everybody, and welcome back to lesson 4. This is starting a new mini unit. So the next 4 videos go together studying one author, and this time the author is an author you probably have never heard of. His name is Frank Asch. He's written a lot of really wonderful books for young people. I've done a lot of different studies with this series, and the books are incredibly simple, but there's a lot of really great thinking that can go along with it. So I hope you enjoy. Today we're going to be reading, or this lesson, we're going to be reading this one called Skyfire. Now, we're going to start the same way we always do, which is thinking about genre and making a prediction. So looking here, I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. Looking here, let's predict both of those things. What genre do you think this is? Now, last few books we read were informational nonfiction. They were teaching us information. Do you think this looks like it's going to teach us information too? How do you know? Talk together. What do you see here? What do the words say? What gives you a clue that it will or will not be teaching us information? So adults, if you're still talking, pause here. I notice right away that I see a bear walking and holding a pot, which isn't something you would normally see in real life. I see him, what looks like he's like spilling water here. So my mind is already telling me that I think this might not be real information, because I can't imagine a bear in real life doing those things. So this genre is called fiction. Now, fiction are stories that people tell, and they have characters in them. And sometimes those stories can seem real, but sometimes they're completely made up and impossible. So as we read today, we can be thinking about, does this seem like the type of fiction where it could be real, or does it seem like the type of fiction that's completely fantasy? So this is called Skyfire. By Frank Asch. Now, this is a little thing that I have noticed in most of Frank Asch's books. Right at the beginning. What do you see here? Let's see if I can get you to the beginning first. So there's that. And then this. Frank Asch gives us clues about what's going to happen in the story. So take a moment to talk together. What is this getting us to think about? What clue is that giving us about what's coming? So adults, again, if you're going to have a long conversation, pause here. So I notice that the sky was empty, and then it changes by the end. There's a full rainbow, but it doesn't just appear. It sort of comes gradually. So that's giving us a hint, something we need to think about as we start the book. One day, Bear looked out his window and saw, I should put this so you can see the picture, sorry. One day, Bear looked out his window and saw a rainbow. He had never seen a rainbow before. To Bear, it looked like the sky was on fire. That would be a scary thought, huh? "Oh my goodness," called Bear to his friend Little Bird. "Just look at the sky." Little Bird flew over to Bear's window. "Why, it's a rainbow," said Little Bird. "Come on, let's go find the pot of gold." Now, I don't know if you've heard that before, but there is an old folklore or an old story that's been told for a long time that says that if you find a rainbow, at the end of the rainbow will be a pot of gold. "Come on, let's go find the pot of gold." "Pot of gold?" said Bear. "What are you talking about?" "Don't you know?" replied Bird. "They say there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow." Now I want you to start noticing what Bird and Bear are thinking. Are they thinking the same thing, or are they thinking different things? What nonsense, said Bear. The sky is on fire and all you can talk about is gold. And he picked up an empty honey pot and ran outside. Take a moment now, think to yourself or talk with somebody. What do you think Bear is going to do? He picked up an empty honey pot and ran outside. Families, if you're still talking, pause here. At the pond, Bear filled the pot with water. Thumbs up if that's what you were thinking. He's going to go get some water. Then he ran towards the rainbow. He ran and he ran and he ran. Look, Bear, said Little Bird. The rainbow ends right by that hollow tree. Now, hollow is a really good word to know. If you see that hole there, right in here, that means that the inside of the tree is gone and it's actually empty inside. It's like a big hole, kind of like a straw. So a hollow tree means that there's room inside for something else. But Bear wasn't listening. He was busy climbing a hill. When he got to the top, he threw the water at the rainbow. What do you think's going to happen? A lot of times kids say, nothing's going to happen. Let's see. Throwing it at the rainbow. Just then, now that's really good book language right then. Just then. Do you know what that means when an author says just then? It means right at the same time. So Bear throws the water, and just then, right at the same moment, the rainbow faded away. So why did the rainbow fade away? Do you know? Do you know why rainbows fade away? So rainbows fade away when the sun comes out and it changes direction and the light just isn't hitting the water in the same way. So we can't make rainbows come. We can't make rainbows go away. It's just how the light and water move together. Little Bird chirped, "Look, Bear, I found the gold." So I don't know if you can see. Do you see that little bit of yellow right in here? I wonder what that's going to be. Bear went to the tree. Inside, he found lots of golden, honey. He filled his pot. Now look, there's that ellipsis there, or we say ... That means the sentence started here, but it's going to finish on the next page. So I'm going to reread this so that we can hear the whole sentence together. It says, he filled his pot and took it home. See, there's the other end of the sentence, the ellipsis there, the ... That night, Little Bird came over. Bear made honey cakes. After dinner, they went for a boat ride. For a long time, they were very quiet. Then Little Bird said, "So it was a rainbow, and I found the pot of gold." "Oh, no, it wasn't," replied Bear. "It was a Skyfire." I put it out. So earlier I asked you to think about what was bird thinking and what was bear thinking. Were they thinking the same thing or were they thinking different things? So now take a second to think, why were they thinking this way by the end? Did they think the same? Did they think different? And why? So if you're still talking about that question, pause here. And my last question for you is, who do you agree with? Who was right? Bear thought the sky was on fire and he put it out. Bird thought it was a rainbow and he found the pot of gold. Who do you agree with and why? So that's the end of our read aloud number 4. Next 3 read alouds are all going to be Moonbear stories. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one.